Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. Tonight is Monday, November 20th, 2023, and we'll call this meeting to order and ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle.
Here.
Trustee Ledden.
Here.
Trustee Savaria.
Here.
Trustee Rigoni.
Here.
Trustee Petro. Trustee Borelli.
Here.
Trustee Rossi.
Here.
Attorney Lamore.
Present.
Deputy Chief Keegan.
Here.
Village Administrator Pisha.
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barika.
Present.
And Clerk Schubert is here. We have quorum.
Thank you, clerk. Now, if everyone would please stand with me and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on here is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one single motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if any of the trustees would like to remove any items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
So Second.
Motion by Trustee Borelli, second by Trustee Rigoni. First item on here was the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of November 6, 2023. And the next item on here is the approval of the bills, and we will go to Trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, bills total all funds of $1,459,867.57. And breaking down, the general corporate fund was $236,107.86. Motor fuel tax fund was $22,193.50. The capital development fund was $230,896. The sewer and water operation maintenance fund was $182,270.17. And the sewer and water extension fund was $788,400.04. Notable that one of the largest line items was the IEPA loan for the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Rigoni. Next item on here is a item from the Committee of the Whole, and we'll go to Trustee Borelli.
Thank you, Mayor. Item C1 is acknowledgement of future local match funds for Wolf Road STP resurfacing project. The village has determined that there is a need to rehabilitate the pavement along Wolf Road from Route 30 to Laraway Road. The estimated project cost is $1,610,000. The village is seeking federal funding through the Will County Governmental League as part of their local surface transportation program for federal fiscal year 2025 through 2029. If awarded, the project cost would be split 80% federal and 20% local match. In order to secure federal STP funding of local highway improvements, the village is required under Will County Governmental League policies to acknowledge that the village has sufficient funds for the local match. At our November 8th, 2023 meeting, the Committee of the Whole forwarded a recommendation to the village board to adopt a resolution for the acknowledgement of future local match funds for the project. The motion before us tonight is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution for the acknowledgement of future local match funds for the Wolf Road STP resurfacing Route 30 to Laraway project. Subject to securing federal STP funds through the Will County Governmental League, the Village of Frankfort hereby acknowledges their intent to allocate the sum of $322,000 in general funds.
Thank you, Trustee Borelli. And the next item on here is also from the Committee of the Whole, and we will go to Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item D is an ordinance for Paid Leave for All Workers Act. In March 2023, Governor J.B. Pritzker signed into law the Paid Leave for All Workers Act to mandate paid time off to be used for any reason. The act becomes effective January 1st, 2024, and will require employers to provide 1 hour of paid leave for every 40 hours worked to employees on an annual basis. The village's existing leave policy for full-time employees already complies with the act. The Illinois Municipal League, or the IML, has been actively engaged in protecting municipal interests in relation to the implementation of the act. The IML supported legislation to exempt municipalities from the act and legislation to postpone the effective date of the act. However, the General Assembly did not take action on these items during the veto session. The IML has obtained several opinions from outside law firms to analyze the act and provide guidance. Consistent with the approaches suggested in all opinions obtained by the IML, it is recommended for the municipalities to adopt an ordinance prior to the act's effective date of January 1st, 2024. Section 15P provides that the provisions of this act shall not apply to any employer that is covered by a municipal or county ordinance that is in effect on the effective date of this act that requires employers to give any form of paid leave to their employees, including paid sick leave or paid leave. Staff recommends Village Board approval of the proposed ordinance regarding the Paid Leave Act for all workers. The motion before us is to waive the first and second reading and pass an ordinance regarding the Illinois Paid Leave for All Workers Act for the Village of Frankfort, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois.
Thank you, Trustee Safaria. Those were the items that were on the consent agenda tonight. We have a motion and a second, and at this time, we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Now we're at the point where we call the mayor's report. First item on here is a Shop Small Business Saturday proclamation, which is a little bit about this, that there are 33 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees and are responsible for 62.7% of the new net jobs created since 1995. It's a lot of statistics right there. They employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And during the 2022 Small Business Saturday, they interviewed and surveyed consumers that were out shopping, and 79% of those consumers said that the Small Business Saturday made them want to shop and dine at small, independent-owned retailers and restaurants all year round. Now, Frankfort, we support our local businesses. They boost our economy, and they preserve our communities. And we have a lot of small, independent businesses as opposed to chains here, and we're very proud of that fact. In the Village of Frankfort, we celebrate our small businesses and their contributions to our local community and economy. We're encouraging all residents to support the Saturday after Thanksgiving as a day to shop small and shop local in Frankfort. The trustees and I support Small Business Saturday and encourage our residents to do their holiday gift buying in Frankfort and to support small businesses on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. At this time, I will entertain a motion from the floor to approve a proclamation declaring Saturday, November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday in the Village of Frankfort. Okay, well, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That motion carries. We have our annual tree lighting ceremony, and that is scheduled for Thursday, November 30th. It's at 6:30 in the Brighter Green in downtown Frankfort. The event will feature a countdown to the tree lighting, musical performances by the Hickory Creek Middle School Choir, and a visit from Santa, Mrs. Claus, and also Buddy the Elf. Complimentary cookies and hot chocolate will be served, and you can visit our website, frankfortil.org, for more details. We also have a save the date. Friday, December 8th, the Chamber of Commerce will host its annual Midnight Madness event in downtown Frankfort. It'll be from 6 p.m. until midnight. Businesses will remain open for shoppers to take advantage of the holiday and the hospitality and holiday gift-giving specials. The discounts, I believe, get deeper as the night goes on. I would highly recommend that you make your dinner reservations in advance because it's a busy night down there. A lot of fun, though. And the Village of Frankfort will host its annual Reindeer on the Green event in downtown Frankfort on on Saturday, December 9th, from noon until 2 o'clock. Come out and enjoy an up-close encounter with real Alaskan reindeers while listening to holiday musical selection by Frankfort Girl Scout Service Unit 718. Included in this year's event, again, are the Trackless Train, which was a big hit last year, arts and crafts tables, and complimentary hot cocoa and cookies. A couple other items I want to recognize and send our condolences to the Pam Griffin's family. Pam was a long-term volunteer here in Frankfort, just passed away recently. And a big part of the Concert on the Green Committee, as well as other volunteer activities throughout there. Again, our condolences go out to her family. I want to thank the members of the Frankfort community for, we sent out a message that if you had leftover candy for after Halloween, last year, drop-off here at this location alone was 60 pounds. This year was over 200 pounds. And so it's going out to various charitable organizations, Veterans Home, the Domestic Violence Shelter, Morning Star Mission, and others. Again, we want to thank you and want your generous spirit for doing that. And the final item on here too is Lincoln Way East is going to the championship. So Saturday they'll be downtown or downstate in Normal, Illinois, and we're excited for them. And Coach Z and the whole team, we're looking forward to having you here afterwards. That's all I have tonight for the mayor's report, and we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for board comments.
Thanks, Mayor Ogle. First, just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving this week. And reminder that our next village board meeting is December 4th here at 7 p.m. You can watch online or join us here in Village Hall. And the agenda and our full information packet can be found at frankfortil.org. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, clerk. Trustee Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too would like to wish everybody a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy the time with your friends and family. And I would like to wish East luck this weekend as they play on Saturday night for the 8A championship. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Faria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to wish Trustee Petro a belated birthday. I think she had a birthday last week. Congratulations to Coach Z and Linkway East. It's getting to be to the point where we kind of expect it. So I don't know what we're going to do when he leaves. And then happy Thanksgiving to everybody. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. Best of luck to Lincoln Way East this weekend. Lots of great football will be played on Saturday. Also, as the mayor mentioned, there's lots of fun activities happening, and many of them are some of my favorite. So I look forward to seeing everyone this holiday season, and a happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you. Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I wanted to say Happy Veterans Day. I forgot to say it last meeting, and I meant to say it. I got carried away with something else I was saying. So Happy Veterans Day, and especially to Trustee Severio. Sounded like you enjoyed it in California. I wanted to send my condolences to our Plan Commission Chair, Nikki Schaefer, on the passing of her father. I was reading through the obituary, which was extraordinary, and her dad lived an incredible life, and it makes me want to do more with mine. It was really, really sounds like a wonderful human being that lived a full life. Also, wanted to send condolences to the Griffin family on the passing of Pam. She was a wonderful neighbor, very passionate about her town, cared a lot, gave wherever she could, and she will be missed. And one more condolence is to the Byrne family. Bill Byrne was, I got to know him through the Kiwanis Club, along with Trustee Rossi and Trustee Severi also knew him. Wonderful man. I wouldn't have known him had I not been involved with Kiwanis, but he also lived this incredible life, which I found out later when I was at his wake. He was a starting safety on the 1968 North Dakota State football team. I mean, it had all these great pictures, and the guy he cared about his town, involved with the Key Club. And the one thing I really liked about him was that he would always give feedback, but he did it in a constructive way. He could have taught a class on how to conduct a meeting, on how to listen to other people. He was a fantastic person, and he will be missed as well. Of course, go East. This is a dynasty. I think this is their fourth championship game in the last 6 seasons of playoffs. It's extraordinary, and to beat Loyola would be extra special. So I'll be down there. I hope to see my fellow residents and fans down there as well. And also, the one thing that I didn't hear in the mayor's report was the Candlelight House Walk. It's not a village event, but it is something that's Frankfort's known for during the Christmas season, and that is Friday, December 1st. And happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you. Trustee Rossi.
Okay. I also want to give condolences to the Byrne family. Bill was a wonderful man. He did a lot for, for the community. I was fortunate enough to spend some time with him the week before he passed. So we're going to miss him. Next thing, on a more positive note, is I want to wish good luck to the Griffins. I don't think they're going to need luck. They're good enough to win, and they'll do great. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
All right, thank you. Is there any other business to come before board tonight? Okay. Hearing none, the next item on here is public comment. So is anyone who would like to come before board and make a public comment?
Hello, everybody.
Come on.
Good to see everyone again. Sorry I missed last month. I'll just give a couple updates real quick on what's going on with the Park District, and I'll be out of your way. As far as the Founders Gym goes, we're in the final stages of repairs. We literally had to go through every truss. Each one had to be shored up, tied up, bolted down, and hopefully we're on the back end of that. With that, I'd like to thank the school districts who have been huge in helping us continue with our programs by giving us space, and thankful to the village for all the help with all the permits. I really could have taken a lot longer and could have been a much rougher ride, but it wasn't. We also have our Fort Frankfort project coming up. We'll be reaching out to the residents in the next few weeks. We put out to bid for plans on how to redo Fort Frankfort. We will start redoing, or we'll start getting the plans together and hopefully get a lot of input from the village, from the residents. This will be an all-inclusive park. So this will be included, so any handicap ADA, we'll bring everything up to code. We have $1.5 million that we secured through Senator Hastings, the DCEO funding. We will hopefully do all those volunteers who built the initial one. Hopefully we'll do them proud. We have our new brochure coming up for the winter. That should be mailed out to the house in the next month. And I think that's just about it. We are not going to be doing the ice rinks again this year, just due to the cost restrictions. And I'll be out of your way. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward to talk? Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the board. I stopped by this evening just to talk a little bit about the folks that keep coming and approaching our region and our area regarding solar farms, and I'll say the demise that they may have, in our area. I'm speaking from experience. As I explained to the mayor prior to the meeting this evening, I've got 45 years in the power production business. I've worked in nuclear, coal, gas, wind, quick-fire gas turbines, and solar as well. There is a place for a commercial type energy facility, and of course the place is not right here in our backyards where it has a negative impact, on our homes. It's nice to go out at night, look into the southern skies here in Frankfort, see the stars, unless you went by Navarro Farms tonight and you got to see it all lit up tonight, right? But it's but I say it seriously. It's the negative impact it'll have on our property values. The other considerations in it too are some of the things I want to bring to your attention. Some of you may know too. We have developers coming into the area they are not from here. So we have people coming into our region with no consideration, and they have neglect, for our property and our property values. Your property values will decline in the area when you do have solar farms or if you have wind farms, in the region. I myself not only have operated, maintained, and developed these type of facilities, so I am aware of it. And I've spoken before homeowners on the other side of the fence, and that as well too. Not only across the United States, but also in Canada, okay? I've been a resident here in Will County for about 40 years. So when I talk about my travels, but I've always had a home here. All three of my children went through Lincoln Way High School, and now that I'm retired, where did I want to stay? I wanted to stay right here, okay? Because I love the community, I love what it offers, okay? So just to highlight a couple of bits of information, the collection systems that they put in, they could either be underground or overhead, okay? So that right there will impact anybody who's on a well, especially if they're going underground. Overhead, you're gonna have more high tension lines, the possibilities for fires, because now you have increased transformers. I'm being told we're not gonna have a substation, which if they did have a substation, that also is a concern for light pollution, okay? The solar panels themselves are a fire hazard. Now, Frankfort Fire Protection District would need to be able to respond to these solar farms should there be a fire, okay? So the fire department would have to have the equipment in order to, how should we say, squelch the fire and keep the fire under control. However, by the time that fire is already burnt, you've got toxic metals and pollution that's gone into our air, our environment, into our water systems. There are a number of people who live here in the region. You know, they are agricultural, they have horses, they have cows, not right here in town, but immediately surrounding us. You know, we have that, okay? So that's a huge concern on environmental. We're in the avian flyway. I know I've got geese, you know, in my yard this time of the year and stuff, and then they move on, and, you know, and other birds, other migratory birds and stuff, it will impact, you know, so I don't know what type of environmental studies that they've done. They haven't told us that. I'll keep this moving along here. The height of the panels, they're talking about putting panels in that are gonna be 20 foot in height. So when you look at the ceiling in this room and you think about some obscure panel that is going to be reaching out into the sky, you know, and causing obstructions, you know, in our area and that as well too, okay? One of the things I brought up too at the county board level, and I spoke to the mayor about it this evening, is asking for some type of a bond. And that bond has to be in future dollars. And I know we have some very intelligent people sitting here on the board. I also have an MBA with a concentration in finance, and I know when we're looking at things, and we're looking at projects, and we're looking at doing things, you're looking at what's it gonna cost in future dollars. And we definitely don't wanna be sticking our children or our grandchildren with the cleanup mess, you know, that could occur from some of these projects right here, you know, in our community, okay? So should something like that ever move forward, we need to make sure we've got the right type of bonds in place, okay? I'm not speaking for Green Garden, but I know Green Garden has also said too that they would not oppose on Route 45 in Manhattan-Money Road where it's more commercial and it's not going to impact anybody's property values immediately, you know, that residential area right there, okay? So that's something, once again, I'm not speaking for them, but something as you're speaking with representatives from Green Garden, you know, you could talk with them about that as well too. I will be attending the board meeting tomorrow in Will County to oppose the next one that they're looking at 104th and Kusi Road, okay? They're gonna be there. Legislation, there's, depending on who's in government at any given time, at the federal level, there are dollars that are given to people that are actually constructing solar farms and wind farms. Should that money dry up, depending on who is actually in the House at the time and who's actually running our government at the time, we may be held holding the bag because there are some tax incentives that they get that are very lucrative. And I know, okay, speaking from experience, it's very lucrative for some folks to do this. Also too, solar and wind, yes, they've actually since 2005, they've actually decreased our greenhouse gases by 15 to 20%. So there's some pluses out there. But once again, it's a matter of where you do it and how you do it, and not right here, you know, in our backyard. So, with that, if anyone's had any questions for me, please ask me. Or once the meeting is adjourned, I'll stick around and I'll be able to answer any questions, based on my knowledge that I can share with you and that as well too. So, and thank you once again, board, for allowing me the opportunity to speak this evening. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Gary. We appreciate you coming up for public comment. And to clarify, there is a Will County Board meeting. This is an area in Green Garden Township, but
Yes, sir.
it's within what is a 1.5 mile review of our border. So we weighed in on this. Our Community Development Director, Mike Schwartz, was at the Will County Board meeting last week to stress our opposition based on the proximity to the residences, and we'll continue to do so.
Great.
Gary, thank you very much
Excellent.
for your thing.
Thank you all.
Is there anyone else who'd like to make comment before the board tonight? All right. Well, before we adjourn, again, I just want to wish all of our residents and my colleagues and our staff a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you spend it with family and friends, and you have a safe time. And hearing nothing further, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.